What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about footwear, and more specifically, what is the best shoe to lift in. And I feel like this would be a great time to talk about the new Mamba Trainer Pros that just came out. Now, I'm not affiliated with this company or sponsored. It's just going to be an honest review of what I think of them. Obviously, I'm a big fan. I do like, the stuff that they come out with. And also, I'll be talking about what I use, bench, what shoes I use to bench in, squat in, deadlift in, etc. But anyway, we're going to start warming up. I don't know if I said this earlier, but we have top single on deadlifts and also just some volume work with bench. So I'm going to get these on and start warming up, and let's see how they feel. So as you guys just saw, we hit 529 for the top single. It was supposed to be 8.5. I feel like that matches the RP. Last time I hit this was in prep for my last meet, and I feel like today it moved a lot smoother. I'm not sure if it's because the shoes are new, but they definitely feel a lot stiffer. Obviously, it's gonna take some time to break them in. This is the first time using them, but they felt really good. Now we're gonna bench, and when it comes to powerlifting, obviously you have the big three. You have squat, bench, and deadlift. And the majority of those lifts, you want to be using a shoe that is flat, so your foot is as close to the ground as possible. And why do we do that? That is because the farther you are from the ground, your feet from the ground, the less force you're able to create by pushing into the ground. So if you say have like a running shoe or a shoe that has like a thick platform, you're not able to create that much force, driving force from the ground, because there's a disconnect. If you think about it, if your foot has something under it and then the floor is under it, it's gonna be a lot harder to press into the floor and get that driving force up, for the deadlift and also the squat. Now when it comes to the bench, you wanna have something that is very sticky or grippy, like a very grippy sole. I've used Mamba, Notorious Lifts, squat shoes, Hyper V's. I've used all those shoes. Me personally, I like to squat with a heeled shoe. That's just how it's always been. Currently I use, I believe, the Romaleo 2s or 3s. And that's probably like my favorite silhouette for the Romaleos. And the reason why I use heeled shoes is because it allows me to feel a lot more stable coming out of the hole, and just more glued to the ground for me personally. And coming from a football background, you always squat high bar, and that's how I've always squatted, was with a heeled shoe. But now we're gonna get onto some bench, and this is where I really want to test the Mambas to see how grippy they are, because I use a lot of leg drive or constant tension leg drive as I'm pressing up. So we're gonna do that now and see how it goes. So let's do that. So as you guys just saw, we hit 243 for 6. Felt really good. I was kind of taking bigger jumps in my warm-ups just because we're really short on time. It's almost 12 o'clock, well basically 12 o'clock, but that felt really good. The 100, the pros, actually felt really good. The new model is a lot more stickier to the ground. The tread pattern, there's more lines in them, so they're very sticky, which I like a lot. I was able to maintain that arch. Basically, for the majority of the reps, I don't think I had to readjust my arch, not once, but felt really good, moved fast, and felt really light in my hands. This is probably like one of the first Tuesday sessions where bench is feeling really strong. Usually, the way I kind of like program it is my bench will feel strongest towards the end of the week, but it's feeling really good now. I feel like I probably could have did like 253 to 264 for my sets of 6, but we're just gonna keep it here because we're short on time, and I want to try to do my accessories as well. But yeah, for shoes, at the end of the day, it's powerlifting, it's personal preference. Use whatever you want to use, but in terms of efficiency, I would say that a flat shoe is probably the best. Now people could argue, you know, if they have poor ankle mobility or stiffness in the knees or the ankles, having a raised heel will probably be better. In most cases, try to just work on ankle mobility and proper knee flexion, and that should solve the issue. But if you would like a squat shoe, honestly, I feel like, you know, try it out. There's nothing wrong with trying it out. So for me, I like the Romaleos, like I said earlier. Probably gonna do a longer test with these shoes for the rest of the week, just to see if they will replace my Hyper Vs, which will be really important for my Friday session. So there's that. So I'll probably give a more conclusive review at the end of the week. But anyway, they feel really good, and yeah, we're gonna hit some accessories right now and wrap up this workout. But let's get on to that. All right, as you guys can see, we're actually outside of the gym. It's like 12 something right now, so the gym is closed. Just to reiterate what happened in the workout. So we worked up to a 529 top single on deads, moved about 8.5. I'm very proud of that, just because last time I touched that weight, like I said earlier in the video, was in prep, and I feel like in today's session I hit it a lot smoother than I did in prep. Obviously my tech has changed quite a bit since then. Now I'm not necessarily going up to the bar and just gripping and ripping it, but I'm just trying to position myself in a better starting position. Before my hips would kind of shoot up first, and I feel like by kind of giving my chest more of a vertical positioning, I'm able to maintain my hip and my shoulders rising at the same time, if that makes sense. So that moved really well. I did skip back down, so I might combine tomorrow and make it like an SBD day, just because we were really short on time. And for bench, like I said earlier, worked up to 243 for 6s, moved really well, felt extremely light in my hands. Usually when I unrack and it feels light in my hands, I know I'm gonna have a pretty good bench session. I'm not sure what I was saying earlier. I was kind of rambling on. I was really short on time. Literally the lights were coming off as I was talking to you guys, but now I've had some time to cool down, kind of, you know, just think about what I want to say now. And going back to, you know, what shoes you should be wearing, like I was saying, it's all personal preference. Obviously a flat shoe is probably the best shoe for you. Like I said, I tried Notorious, 100. I did lift in Vans, like in high school. I know that's a pretty popular trend to lift in like Converse and Vans. Nothing wrong with that. I do think that more you could get more stability out of like actual lifting shoes, but you know, none of that is a necessity. If you have to, you know, deadlift, squat in socks and stuff like that, even on Instagram or whatever you watch on, you probably see people even deadlifting or, you know, squatting with just bare feet. And that's another reason why people do that, is to kind of instill in their mind the cue of rooting your feet into the ground, which is more of like a advanced topic. Maybe I'll talk about that in like a squat video in the future. But yeah, you could lift in whatever you want. Now this is probably gonna be a hot take, I guess, but me personally, I don't like, you know, squatting or deadlifting in Jordans. I know it's a really common trend in powerlifting. I don't know who started it, but I'm not a fan. I think it's kind of silly, especially, you know, you see people lifting in like Jordan 3s, Jordan 4s, 6s, and I, you know, being someone who was a sneakerhead in high school, I'm not anymore, but those shoes, they're really not that comfortable, and they do have a bit of thicker sole and platform, so you're not actually that close to the ground. So me personally, I'm not a fan of, you know, lifting in Jordans. I do have some clients that lift in them. Luckily they lift in ones, so it is the flattest profile of the Jordan shoe, but me personally, I don't see, you know, why you would lift in those other than it looks cool on Instagram. I don't think it's that efficient, but hey, that's just my opinion. Anyway, I know this video is kind of all over the place because of, you know, how we time things, and moving forward I'm gonna try to obviously work around that, make it a little bit better. But that concludes the video. Really good session. Gonna work on, like I said earlier, continue testing out the 100s. Personally, I like them a lot. Like I said, this is my first time using them. I'm not sponsored by the company by any means, or you know, affiliated, like I said earlier, but I really do like them. They felt really comfortable. I give them, you know, 9 out of 10. Like I said, I'll give a more revised review later in the week after I've had more days to train with them, but so far I really like them. I was able to grip the ground really well as I was benching, so that's always a good thing. Like I said, appreciate all you guys for tuning in. Hopefully this video wasn't all over the place. Now I don't know what the fuck I was gonna say. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.